I don't know if things will be the same after this.
To now be able to give a vote. I don't fully agree, but
Is that written anywhere that the mayor can?
If there's nothing further than Cornwood, you are dismissed and you'll be off suspension tomorrow.
Don't give up, Cletus. Just don't give up.
it's too...
I won't. I'll see y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bones, can you let them out, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Is that Aziz?
Yes.
That is
Captains, can I ask a question if you don't mind?
Ask away.
Why were the two seniors that were able to attend allowed to vote?
It was a new system that we're trying out. We're trying to get seniors involved to have more point of views and points put forth than just the captains.
The sergeant will be...
Yeah.
God?
I mean, objectively, them not even being there in the first place, like, the vote would have been 2-1 anyway.
May I ask a question as like the
I didn't
neutral
get to
observer
finish.
here?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Can
we hold this actually till Bones gets back, just so we're all present here for these questions?
Sure.
There's something I just got to add to the equation now. The mayor's involved. And, you know, I don't know if things will be the same after this.
We keep our chins up. We do the best we can. We have each other's back out there in the field, and we do our best. That's all we can do at this point.
Yeah, I just feel for Ruth, that's all.
To piggyback on that, we have our backs out there and in here. But when we see accountability, we push it, as long as there's fact behind that accountability. And my take about that night situation,
Yeah,
because
I
I
get a
said it
dab.
before, I don't think he should have been dapped for that.
I mean, Ruby and Bones spoke with Knight in front of me that can give you their perspective as far as what Knight provided. He thinks there's something more even dangerous going on.
Let's get Malton to... Actually, I'm sorry, Ruby, go ahead.
Yeah, do you mind if I just swing back to where I started this conversation? And I'm not trying to point fingers or anything, but suddenly the decision was made for seniors who could attend to now be able to give a vote. Yet the majority of us seniors in this room, the four of us, work with him the most. So, I mean, if we can't attend a meeting, we don't get to vote, or are seniors now allowed to vote? Is this a new system in place that we don't know about?
It's a new system we're trying out.
We're trying. Yeah.
Scheduling is the hardest part, I'll be honest. But like you said, it should be catered to the shift that person's part of. That would make more sense.
Right.
Can we schedule a command meeting at some point?
But if I could,
We have them coming up.
Yeah, it's happening.
If the vote is open, shouldn't it be open to all seniors if you want to start giving us some kind of leadership?
I mean, we could do something like
you
that.
need to be present if you want to be part of the vote, because you're there to hear his response. You're there to ask questions. You need to be present at the actual panel.
That's also part of the problem. Yeah, is it's not gonna be the same on paper than it is in person.
I don't fully agree, but that's just my
What would you be
opinion.
voting on? Just your opinion of him? You wouldn't even be educated on the topic if you weren't there to hear what he said and what was asked of him.
Well, they just said that everything was noted down.
Have
You know,
you
the
read
things
it?
we covered was noted down.
We
all the
weren't
subjects
It's a
that
blank
were brought up.
report,
We
Turner.
weren't even aware that
What?
the two
It
seniors
is a
that
blank
attended
report.
we were not even aware that the seniors that could attend were allowed to give a vote. Now, that's all I'm asking for. If this is new, can we please, is this
Yes.
the announcement?
Yes. This should be made into an announcement. That's correct. That's something that needs to be made into a command report. But as far as voting, I do believe it should be done in person. If you can show up, you vote. If you can't, you can't.
Because I'll tell you that from majority of us here in this room, of the seniors, I think the voting would have gone a much different way.
I'm going to say, like, the unspoken part out loud, if you will.
I don't want to be rude.
That
Ruby
was
doesn't want to
kind
be
of stacked
rude.
against him, largely, at least in my opinion.
I was stacked against him.
Because, I mean, at least in my opinion, it's pretty clear that there's a dislike for him, some people. And I would argue that most of the people that represent that idea of being against him were present.
Are you
I
saying
think
there's some kind of
that's a poor
bias
per-
malice, Barrick?
Right. I was gonna say there's some
To some extent, or at least there's no
Thank you,
defense for that
folks.
of the people there, in my opinion.
Can you give
I don't
like,
think
an
there's any
example or-
bias malice. What? Yeah. What?
So at least we can understand your perspective a little bit as far as what
Right.
you're trying to say.
I just don't believe that
saying-
there were, like, completely clear or true intentions, or at least as far as, like, seeing both sides of the situation equally and actually wanting him to improve. It was more so just punishing more than potentially seeing that this guy could be helped or things could be changed.
Can you give
Barry-
names? Who do you believe?
But Barry, I can tell you as far as Cletus, he should have been fired probably 5 days after getting his
tried
badge.
to save
He was
Denzel,
waving
we
his gun
did.
for a crowd of people at City Hall at the memorial election,
People
mayor
don't
election.
see the
He was going
conversations
undercover and
behind
doing
the
a lot of
scene.
crazy stuff. He was constantly drawing his gun on people who are speeding. I mean, he was doing a lot of, antics. and we tried to work with him, and
Sorry,
we gave him a
folks.
few punishments. We gave him. I removed his gun. I did his firearm training myself. I would pull him aside, talk to him. I would have all these talks every single day. My day would start with an hour conversation with Cletus every single day.
We had countless conversations with him.
Talking about how to get better. That's how he got better. That's how he's becoming a better officer. That's why everybody loves him
100%.
and knows he knows how to charge. He knows what is wrong, what is right. He knows when to step in, when to escalate, when de-escalate. It's because I spent all that time because I knew the guy would be a potential leader in the department, and I wanted to be polished as far as police
Yeah,
went.
and it was worth it, and he did improve. And I'm not saying that he didn't make mistakes or that the punishments weren't just. I am simply saying that
cooking.
I do not believe that
And
not
by the
having
way, I'm not
people
looking
there
at
to
chat,
essentially,
okay? I'm not
just
looking
like in
at
any
chat
sort
at
of
the
trial
moment.
or anything like that,
So just bear with me
it
if
was
you can
essentially
hear
like
me,
going
okay?
at a trial without a defense.
I get that. You're one of the peers that were judging him to be actually just, equally understanding of the situation as far as what's going on versus somebody who's not very in the know as far as what's transpired or doesn't seem often or maybe
I gotta
has
get my
maybe
thoughts
one
together.
incident with Cletus and that's her perception of the guy and then they haven't seen him get better or they haven't seen him grow into that police officer. Am I understanding what you're saying right now? Or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I think
arguably, having someone that doesn't know him gives him a fresh take. But we're talking in circles.
I just want to say,
That is good.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Sorry, Captain.
I was just going to respond to that. That is a very good point. Also, go ahead, Ruby.
Listen,
Apologize.
I appreciate as captains that you're now allowing, seniors to have a little bit more, say and vote and things that we can attend. However, oh God, I'm just going to say it. The last DAT for Denzel, both McNulty and I said to you, Captain Slacks, that we disagreed. We went through the whole incident. We even spoke with him. We went through so much and we disagreed with that final DAP, only to come on duty the next day to find out that, that the vote had gone to the captains and it was that he was to be terminated. That was really tough. So I'm glad we're doing a step forward, but I do feel like we've done some people misjustice in the past.
Was there any consideration or was there any reason as to why it wasn't like Shift 2 seniors that voted on his fate as like a fellow Shift member?
I
talked
can say
about-
why I wasn't there. Slacks did ask me to be there, but I was hungover on my couch.
I see. So it was just whoever could make that panel, basically.
I'll be
I
completely
invited
honest.
Bones and Ruby as well. I invited all the Shift 2 guys.
I'll be honest. Watson just happened to be on duty, and since we only had one other senior there, we invited Watson in as well.
Okay.
So it wasn't even planned that a Shift 3 senior would be there, but it's a senior. They should be able to, view the situation.
So these seniors are given like real votes equivalent to a captain.
Correct.
Sergeant.
All
Equal
all
to-
the
oh,
votes in the
oh,
situation were
correct, yes.
equivalent. Yes.
Correct.
However, this
And,
is the first time we're hearing about this.
Is that written anywhere that the mayor can? How do you phrase this? The mayor can
Veto?
revoke the votes of a captain and then vote in her place. What was
So
that?
It's
I
the new
will-
legislation.
I will
No.
read the legislation line that allows it, I believe, which is example of powers of the mayor's office. I'm sorry. It should be.
I'm getting
actually-
out there. I'm getting
Yeah.
out there. I figure
Okay.
I can
I'm
finish this up.
guilty. So essentially,
Which is
he
in
has
the evening.
a
These are Bosch.
complete grounds to
Is
do
based
what
a
he
good
did.
word?
Right, it was just kind of him to
Is based
phrase
a
it in a
good
way
word?
that seemed like he was leveling with you instead of giving you an order to overturn.
Yes.
No, I mean he did use
Okay,
the executive
thank you.
order. in a
Right,
way.
right. But what he did is he equivalent his power to a
Thank you,
captain
folks. I
and used his
appreciate
power
you so
to
much.
vote as a
Change the vote.
captain in a place of a captain rather than just order you directly
Thank
to
you.
overturn it, which he could have done.
I agree. A Shift 2 cop
Which
should
was
have
the
been
same.
there.
It's the same
right?
outcome, right? I'm
And
just
the night
clarifying.
before,
Okay.
McNulty
Correct.
did
Yeah,
say
I
he
mean,
was
like
gonna
I
be
said,
there, but
I
he
thought
couldn't
about
make it.
challenging it for a second. I thought about it in my head. I'll be honest, and I thought about that clause, and I was like, I'm walking into a trap
Do
if
you
I
think
say
more
no.
people